Hello everyone. I hope you've enjoyed today's activities. I know I have. Now it's time for bedtime. I wondered if you'd like to hear my bedtime story. It's called A Very Useful Woodland Walk. Are you ready? You all nice and comfortable? Okay. Acorn Forest was one of the happiest places to be when the sun shone and the birds were wide awake. The trees reached towards the white clouds and the leaves seemed to decorate the sky. Timothy, who was 6, looked up and squinted. He could see branches waving at him and the sun looked like it was playing hide and seek in the sky. Timothy's dad took his hand as they continued along the pathway through the forest on their regular Sunday morning walk. Each weekend they would find sticks, unusual rocks and beautiful leaves. Sometimes they would see tiny little voles or mice scurrying around beneath the shadows of the bushes and plants. Timothy needed to stay very still if he wanted to watch any wildlife. One day a robin came and perched right next to Timothy as he sat on a large log. He held his breath. He didn't want to move. The robin looked at Timothy and Timothy looked at the robin. Then the robin fluttered off. Today, Timothy and his dad were talking about having a lovely walk together, whilst his mum and younger sister prepared for a special party for his grandparents. His mum had made a beautiful cake with gold-coloured roses on the top, made of icing. There was going to be decorations hanging along the garden path and golden balloons all along the house. It was going to look amazing. Timothy knew his grandad and granny were going to love the surprise when they arrived later on that afternoon. Timothy continued skipping along the familiar forest path to where his favourite tree stood. It was a huge sycamore tree. He stood at the base of it and stared. It seemed to stare back at him. He then noticed something different about it. Many of the leaves had already begun to change colour. They were so beautiful that Timothy decided to collect as many large leaves as he could. They were even bigger than his own hand, and many of them had turned a beautiful yellow colour. Dad helped Timothy gather as many as he could and carried them back to the house. Mum was standing by the front gate when they arrived back, and she looked a little worried and upset. Dad asked what the matter was, and Mum blurted out that she had opened a packet of balloons and they had somehow all got holes in. They were useless. Next, the bunting she had ordered to decorate outside had not arrived. That meant it wouldn't be as prettily decorated as Mum wanted it to be. Mum looked very disappointed. But then Timothy had the most excellent idea. "Why don't we use the golden yellow leaves as decoration?" he said excitedly. "We could string them together and they will flutter in the wind outside. We've collected loads." Mum and Dad both agreed it was an amazing idea and began tying the beautiful golden leaves to string to hang them up in the garden. And they flapped about in the breeze and looked beautiful. When Granny and Grandad came to visit, they were so surprised that a wonderful party had been planned for them. They had so much fun. The beautiful cake tasted so lovely and everyone enjoyed themselves. And as for the golden sycamore leaves decorating the garden, well, Granny and Grandad said It was the best idea ever. I hope you enjoyed that story. So settle down, and I hope you have a really good night's sleep. Goodbye for now.